Topping today's news, what does increased U.S. Coast Guard activity in the region mean for the Bahamas? A local pilot facing murder and drug trafficking charges. Teachers at CV Bethel fed up with unruly students. And we get more from the groundbreaking of Four Seasons at Cabbage Beach. This is your JCN Evening News. I'm Jcn Saunders. Thank you so much for joining us. Just as many Bahamians were torn in their support or lack of support for the United States presidential candidate Donald Trump, they are now torn over whether the announcement by the U.S. Coast Guard on Tuesday, January 21st, that it will take immediate increased actions to secure America's maritime borders, including those shared with the Bahamas, how it will in fact impact the Bahamas. On Tuesday, the U.S. ordered a surge in assets towards border protection in response to executive orders issued by the White House. The U.S. will increase Coast Guard presence and focus, starting with a number of areas, including the southeast U.S. border approaching Florida, to deter and prevent a maritime mass migration from Haiti and or Cuba, and the maritime borders between the Bahamas and South Florida. In March last year, the Bahamas government noted that it too has expanded its patrols in the southern waters of the Bahamas. It says the Bahamas is working with the U.S. Coast Guard, with the Turks and Caicos Islands, and with the Cuban Border Patrol to share critical intelligence and align their efforts. From the courts on Wednesday, 26-year-old pilot was arraigned on murder and drug charges and remanded to prison until April 7th. Donald Ferguson II of Coral Harbor was charged with the murder of Giovanni Roll, who was shot and killed at a private airport facility on Coral Harbor Road on June 16, 2024, which was the 57th murder for the year. Roll's family had a $50,000 reward for anyone that could provide evidence or information about the shooting that led to an arrest. It is unclear if anyone received that award. Meanwhile, Ferguson, who is also on a list of Bahamians indicted by the U.S. for smuggling tons of cocaine into the United States, he also faces 4 counts of conspiracy to import drugs and 2 counts of abetment to import drugs in connection to a $15 million drug seizure following a plane crash on Acklands. That was December 6, 2024. Ferguson appeared before Chief Magistrate Roberto Reckley. He did not have to enter a plea to the murder and drug conspiracy and abetment charges, which will be heard in the Supreme Court. He did plead not guilty to the drug possession charges. Again, he returns to court in April and again in May. Also from the courts on Wednesday, 38-year-old Cornell Cooper pled guilty to the June 28, 2024 murder of Heston Adderley when he appeared before Senior Justice Cheryl Grant Thompson. Adderley was fixing a motorcycle at Seven Hills, New Providence, when he was approached by Cooper, who slit his throat with a box cutter. This was the 60th murder for the year in 2024. A witness identified Cooper as the assailant. Cooper, who entered into a plea deal, has been remanded to custody until June. Well, he has been in custody, since last year, June, and he will return to court for sentencing on January 31st. President of the Bahamas Union of Teachers, Belinda Wilson, spoke out yesterday in light of recent events taking place involving a student and teacher at the CV Bethel Senior High School on Monday. The incident made waves on social media as teachers gathered outside the gates of the school, leaving their classrooms in hopes of getting the attention of relevant authorities. Wilson, in her statement, explained exactly what happened and led to the teachers eventually reaching what they say is their breaking point. Here's what she had to say.
2 female students physically attacked another female student. One of the attackers, when taken to the office, used profanity toward a teacher in the presence of the administrators and guidance counselors. Not only did she threaten the teacher, but she also cursed her about her private parts. She had to be restrained from trying to attack the teacher. The school police dealt with the matter, and the school police had to call for backup. So the teachers requested a meeting. They wrote a complaint of the list of concerns for their principal about safety on City Bethel's campus and the state or the lack thereof of discipline for the students.
The BUT president went on to speak to the importance of competent leadership, as she says it is crucial in maintaining order in the schools.
Our area vice president attempted to visit City Bethel, as our industrial agreement states, so that he can ascertain the concerns of the teachers. Instead, he was locked out of the school gate. Hence, the teachers came out to the gate to meet with the area vice president. Again, I'm calling upon the Minister of Education, Glenys Anna Martin, the Permanent Secretary of Education, Mrs. Lorena Bristow, the Director of Education, Mrs. Dominic Russell, to ensure that principals and the administrators are aware of what the industrial agreement states. So we now have an internal matter that was not dealt with in the proper manner that has now escalated.
Well, the Ministry of Education has since released an official statement highlighting some of the more positive attributes from CV Bethel, also emphasizing that the issue is being resolved. And finally, in this segment, this week, the Ocean Club broke ground on Paradise Island's Cabbage Beach for its new Four Seasons luxury residences. Minister of Tourism, Investments and Aviation, Chester Cooper, was present for the historic moment. He spoke about the tremendous economic benefits the new resort will provide for the Bahamas.
This development will create almost 1,000 jobs during construction and 200 permanent jobs when completed. And over the next 20 years, if you've heard, it is projected to bring more than $700 million of economic benefit into the economy, boosting our GDP and building a stronger future for all Bahamians.
There are over 400 people working at the Ocean Club, and the new Four Seasons is expected to boost those numbers significantly. Managing partner Taylor Collins says his company, Two Roads Development, is committed to the Bahamas. He described what the new structures will look like.
The residences will be an extension of everything that has made the Ocean Club so beloved. These bespoke homes will combine the best luxury living environment along with the breathtaking views and Cabbage Beach. While the residents will reflect modern sophistication, they are deeply rooted in the heritage and charm that has defined the Ocean Club for decades.
The new Four Seasons is expected to be completed in 2028, featuring numerous amenities, including oceanfront dining venues that will be open to the general public. You're listening to JCN News. We'll take a break here. We'll be right back following these commercials.